Alright, should be recording. And yeah, I just wanted to capture here because I was in the last part or the part before. Well, so the last week or the previous video or the one before that, where I asked, because I couldn't remember, but I was right. It's Just Cause is a Square Enix title. I wonder if it is one of the IP that went to Embracer. I don't know. I honestly don't know where the IP for Just Cause is. It could have also stuck with Avalanche. It's hard to say. Sometimes, like, when IO Interactive left, they got to keep Hitman with them. But typically, IP is actually held by the publisher. Although there are certainly exceptions. Some publishers, they specifically do have their contracts to not actually do that. I want to say Devolver is like that, because they do mainly indie stuff, and I mean that makes a lot of sense to me. That if you're doing indie publishing, that to help get them to connect with you, you don't take their IP from them. You let them keep it. But I can also see it working as you then, you're not spending as much. But to be fair, I don't think many indie games would necessarily need a whole lot of marketing support. I mean, here, let me put this. GTA 5 had hundreds of millions of dollars in marketing, I want to say. It may have only been tens of millions. But it was still in the millions. And that's also part of the reason why this wasn't the case for GTA 5, but for many games, you see, they may launch in a not ready state. And it's like, oh, why wasn't this game delayed? Well, because the publisher already spent their marketing for a specific launch date. I'm serious, that is part of it. That it would be a tremendous cost to change that. Now, sometimes, and in GTA games, you know you're going to sell those, so you can eat the cost of a delay. But you can't do that with all games. But yeah, with indie games, though, I could see that being more on the order of like tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe. So yeah, I actually don't know. Now I'm kind of curious, and I don't think I could ever find out what is the actual normal expenditure that Devolver and such, also Dear Villagers, Playism, I get stuff now from them. Handy Games, I guess, yeah, they're also indie. They would also be considered an indie publisher. Who else can I think of? I should be thinking more than just that. I know I should. I'm just failing to. But I do kind of wonder how much they actually spend for something like that. And it is also worth noting that in some cases, the marketing budget can have special multiplier to it. But by that I mean, and I see this every now and then, not too often for me though, where, and I do have things to talk about besides this. I know I'm just off on this way. Actually ramble. I think this counts more as a ramble. But anyway, where you see like streamers getting stuff early. I don't know, but I don't know for certain. But I do think that many streamers, they might not actually get paid. It's entirely possible that all they get is, oh shit. That's what I meant. There we go. Yeah, some streamers I think do actually get paid to, like, do streams in whatever video. In whatever game. But not all. I don't think all do. Some may also actually refuse it, depending. I certainly don't get paid for anyone wondering that. I don't know if I even would. Well, no, I couldn't. I couldn't because the whole, if I'm doing reviews, if I'm reviewing a game, I couldn't take any kind of payment, even if it were offered. And if anything, I mean, I have to say no and don't offer it. But I don't even think I've ever had even that question come up. But anyway, my point with the multiplicative effect there is, depending on the streamer and depending on the game, that could be a very low cost on the publisher, but a very high and effective return. I want to keep doing Fortress. Yeah, I mean, so depending on the game, you might find that it proves far more effective than traditional advertising. I'm gonna drink water. Oh, that's so much. Have I been over here? I don't think I have been, because there's stuff that I would have blown up. Oh yeah, it's not even on the map yet. I see it. I think. Ah, there it is. There's the one over there. There's more than one, though. I think. Yeah, because there it is. Come on. I need to deal with this. You think that? There we go. Good. There we go. Alright. Anything else here to blow up? Yeah, I got it. Oh, yeah, and all this.
Requesting air support!
Alright, let's get out of here. Up, up, and away! That isn't a Chippewa there. Maybe it was. It's gone now.
Air support on the way. ETA.
Really? He's sending more? Mainly my notes for what to talk about is just from AMD's Computex announcement. For Zen 4 and all that. It has been a fairly easy week, which I'm very thankful for, because Computex week does not need to be. And with, day job and such taking time, it can be annoying. And I'm stupid, I'm gonna attack the support now. Like, I'm already in a, a smoking helicopter. I really shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna do it. Now Mendocino? AMD, I'll get to Zen for a sec. AMD announced and showed off a new mobile APU, so CPU and GPU in there. That's Zen 2, if I remember correctly. Well, Zen 2 Plus. 4-core, 8-thread, and I don't remember how many RDNA 2 related GPU cores in there. But the idea being that this is destined for low cost. Whoop! There I go. But is ultimately destined for low cost products. So cheaper laptops. And also Chromebook. So, yeah. Oh, wait, no, there is actually this thing right here. Alright. That is not what I'm aiming. That's what I'm aiming. Yeah, I don't really know if there's much to really say, and I think it's Mendocino. I'm just uncertain if that is the code name or not. I did see one thing, though. This was before Computex, so a rumor that they would be that they would also be using the APU that's in the Steam Deck. That they would be offering that as something. I wonder if that's what the rumor is referring to. I don't know if that is, in fact, the thing that's in the Steam Deck or not. But that might be. Which also, I just want to say, I have been thinking, because, like, hey, I have an income. Do I want to get a Steam Deck? I don't know. I could afford one, even a nice one, but it's, I just, that'll come. I don't know how much use it would be. Could be fun, but there are other things I'd want to spend money on first. What the hell did that? There we go. But it seemed he shot through the container. Yeah, so I guess that just leaves, like, Zen 4 and AM5. Unfortunately, there was no... Well, I didn't look through the whole of the event, the keynote. I did not have to. But I did see... I did look at some of the stuff in there, and did see... Well, I did not see anything for RDNA 3, so the next GPU. Which is not necessarily surprising. A little disappointing, but, you know, is what it is. But the Zen 4 stuff looked promising, but it will be interesting to see what more may come of that. Because everything we saw was with pre-production silicon, meaning that the whole showing it running above 5 gigahertz and then it being able to boost up to 5.5 gigahertz in a game, it's like, yeah, and it's possible they will actually be able to get more out of it. We also don't know how much power it was pulling. They did say there was no overclocking involved, which also, when you think about it, though, might not be all that surprising. Just the whole, how can you overclock it yet if you don't have final clocks for it? I mean, that does seem a fair and legitimate question. How can you say it is or is not overclocked when it's like, well, we don't know what we're going to clock it at? Might have just been, you know, we let it run as it wanted to. That actually would be interesting if that's with the likes of Precision Boost. If there is something that you can do, you just let it, you know, control itself until it needs to throttle. I don't know. But, yeah, it still is, you know, just one of those. Looks like AMD's gonna have clock speed parity with what Intel can offer. They did really screw up messaging though with one thing. So one of the numbers that was shared in the press release was a 170 watt TDP. That's what it says in the press release. 170 watts, okay. 170 watts, that's fine. What is it specifically referring to? Is this telling us that they're increasing the CPU TDPs that much? Because I mean, like some of these parts are, some of the Ryzen 5000 series parts are 105 watts. I think the 2700X, so that's Zen Plus, I think that's 120 watt TDP. Okay, now we're pushing up to 170 watts. Is that where this performance is coming from? That they're just pushing it higher? No, apparently, although we don't know exactly what the CPU that they were demonstrating, we don't know what that was running at, as I already said. But apparently that 170 watt TDP is what the socket is designed for. That doesn't mean that any CPU will actually pull that at stock. It means that it's what the socket can provide. This is important, because as I saw some people provide commentary on with regards to this, the AM4 socket was not designed for high TDP, which meant that there's less headroom for overclocking in some cases. It seems like they've decided with the AM5 socket, that's not going to be the case. They're going to make sure that it is designed with sufficient headroom. So you will, and some of the stuff I saw in interviews after after the Computex keynote, still part of Computech, some of them were saying there will still be the 65 watt CPUs, there will still be the 105 watt CPUs, but potentially, yes, we could see 170 watt AM4 CPU. I saw one theoretical posed for that I hope is not the case, which is that they will just have SKUs at, you know, like the 16 core level that pull the 170 watts as a way to fill the HEDT gap that they've left open by not having Threadripper. I really hope that is not true, because Threadripper is a great product, I feel. I completely understand why we don't see it today, because GPUs are where a lot of silicon shortage has been talked about. It also hits CPUs. And AMD would be completely correct in prioritizing EPYC and Ryzen, which will lead Threadripper third, but Threadripper Pro exists as well. And that I can see being ahead of Threadripper, because by its nature, Threadripper Pro would probably, be like contract kind of stuff for AMD, meaning it brings in more money and sort of guaranteed. But anyway, so yeah, the 170 watt TDP is for the socket, not for the CPUs. That's how much power, on average, the socket can provide the CPU. Technically not, because TDP is actual thermal watts, but they're pretty close. We very often use them interchangeably, even though that's technically not accurate, but deal with it. However, for PPT, so this would actually be, in the Friday piece, I had a Tom's Hardware link there. They said it's package power tracking, which seems an odd thing. Anyway, basically that's the peak power for the socket. That can go up to 230. So that's the like when it does the most extreme boost, that's what it would be able to pull at most. So I'm just trying to think. With the 2700X, I'm trying to remember the data that I've seen before. Without precision boost, I think it actually will hang around like 130 watts, 140 maybe. A little bit above 120, but it does fall back down to 120 after a while. With precision boost overdrive enabled, though, it's more pulling like 160, 170 watts. Yeah. Which, I don't know when I'll get to it. I actually should write up some of it soon, while it's still fresh-ish in my memory. But I'm actually, for the test system, deciding not to run with Precision Boost Overdrive anymore. Just since collecting the data after putting on the new cooler, I don't think that the benefit is there. If I manually overclocked, it would be different, I'm certain. But I don't feel like spending the time to do that. Yeah, it's basically the significant increase in temperature and power usage, but the frequency change wasn't that great. Now, true, I was only testing with Cinebench, which does a good job loading the CPU, but, you know, except for when I'm doing video encoding, I'm not loading the CPU that heavily. So, and in those cases, all I would be doing is wasting power. Yeah, I'm. Maybe I will change my mind and eventually actually go in there and try to tune it. But it is also, I may just replace the CPU, go to something like 5900X. I honestly don't know which I should do, 5900X or 5800X 3D. I'm pretty sure the B450 mortar that I have for the test system will support either. I just need to update the BIOS. I just don't know which I will go for. It's the whole... I'm hesitant with the 5800X 3D because of being so high performance for gaming. Will that skew results? Because I kind of like the idea of keeping the test system as something relative to an average gaming computer. But it's also the whole, well, if CPUs are going to get so much more powerful in the future, then shouldn't I actually go for that? Because that way it's more representative for a longer time, like in the future. Whereas 5900X though, 5900X 12 cores, when I have it doing video work, that's going to be very helpful. And I do that actually. I had to do some recordings recently, not for anything, for OCC. I just had the test system do the processing rather than the desktop, because the desktop, it sometimes hard locks. That's very annoying. And it's like, well, I'll just avoid it completely. And that's how I will avoid it. Have the test system do it. And oh man, it's so nice because the new cooler is so quiet on it, and it doesn't have LEDs, so it's quiet and dim. It can just run at night and not be a problem in any way, shape, or form. It's amazing. Which also reminds me of something funny. So yeah, AMD announces Zen 4 and AM5 officially this week, like on Monday. Today, I'm recording this, it's Friday. My brother sends me an email. He wants to build a new computer. He's still using an FX 8350, okay? So, first gen bulldozer, top of the line, but still first gen bulldozer. And he's like, hey, so it makes sense that he wants to upgrade, but he's like, this is what I'm thinking about getting. And it's like, really? Now you want to do it? I'm going to be talking him down on some of the stuff too. Because, like, two things. One, he wants to put in the 5950X. So 16 cores, 32 threads. Great CPU. Nothing he does need. He would probably... I mean, okay, I do a fair amount of video work. I don't even think it would be worth it to me, not in the test system, to put in 5950X. I think 5900X would be better for what I do. That, yeah, the extra 4 cores, 8 threads, I could probably find a use for. It would probably be beneficial, but... I think saving the money would be fine for me. For him, I could see him going down to one of the 6 cores, like the 5600X. Maybe the 5700X. Right? That's 5700X, not just 5700. But maybe that, and he'd be fine. But also, he was naming an X570 motherboard. It's like, you probably don't need that. And we'll look. We'll look. I need to talk to him. about what it is that he's going to be using the machine for, and what it is that he thinks he'll end up using. I disagree with those who say that, did I already do this? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. I disagree with those that say that you just build a CPU to do what you need it to do. No, build like 10-15% above that. Build above that because, especially if you're going from an older, less powerful machine, which would be the case for my brother, to something more powerful, you will suddenly find yourself thinking of more ways to use it. It's, the new toy effect is how I think of it. Where it's like, you get this new toy, you start playing with it, and you start finding new ways to play with it as well. Same thing happens there. So, build a little bit ahead of what you want so that as that new toy effect is in play, you have that ability to move forward with it beyond, and not be like, oh, I should have gotten this. But it's also never tremendously overpowered. I mean, as I said, for him, 16 cores, I don't think he does anything that would need that. So I would definitely try to talk him down from that because I don't think he needs it. But if it is no, 6-core 12-thread would be all you need, I might still be like, yeah, get the 8-core 16-thread. Go for the 5800X or the X3D, go for that. I might still do that. Because, that way, you're going to be covered. It's also, he was talking, yeah. But the X570, it's like, I don't know how that would benefit him. I mean, it might. I can see one scenario. But depending, it might not be worth it. And that'll also very much come down to price. Because, I think he'd be fine with the B5. I've got other things to start. Let me look at my notes. Oh yeah, that is actually very much worth talking about. Okay, so I think it's actually between Zen 2 and Zen 3, it's the same I/O die being used. You can do that, I'm just going to clear out this stuff first. This area first. So it's the same, I believe, Ryzen 3000, 5000 uses the same 12nm I/O die made by GlobalFoundries. That's just the compute dies that are changed. Well, with Zen 4 and Ryzen 7000, they're going to a new 6nm I/O die that we manufactured by TSMC. And this will have PCIe 5 support, it will have DDR5 support, it will also have inbuilt GPU cores, which is a big deal. That is something that Intel has had an advantage on quite a while. Now, for many people, we put discrete GPUs in our systems, it's not a problem. But the thing is, if a GPU dies on you, having that CPU side GPU in there can be very useful, because that allows you to still get into the operating system and such. How do I get it? That will do something, please. Or not. Oh, that didn't work. Alright, let's get the helicopter. Now, from what I saw, it sounds like it will not be many GPU cores. I think in one spot I saw just a couple were referred to. So 2, 3, maybe 4. Not many. But they will be there. And also it's worth noting, it's likely very intentional that it won't... I did not mean to do that. Damn it. Oh, so much for my helicopter. Sorry, but I need this. There we go. There. And there's still something more. Yeah, that's right. So part of the reason why it makes sense that there won't be many GPU cores is that AMD still has their APU. They're not going to want, and there will be desktop APUs in the 7000s. Well, maybe not in the 7000 series, because they sometimes like, you know, going to other naming, but there are still APUs to come, desktop APUs to come, so why would they cannibalize this? But it will be everything that uses that I/O die will have some amount of GPU. And it will be enough for driving multiple displays. It will have AV1 decode. It will also have some video encode. Don't know about AV1, although RDNA 2 doesn't have AV1 encode, and it is based on RDNA.
Let me introduce myself. I am Razak Razaman. Some call me Reza. I am the leader of the outfit known as the Roaches.
I hear you might be looking for help.
Right you are. I have heard about your handiwork, Scorpio.
I do what I have to do to get the job done.
Ah, that is good. I hope we can reach a mutually beneficial agreement. I am a businessman, Scorpio. I supply what my customers demand. And now the demands of Panau have outgrown my local businesses, and it is time to expand operations. Pelabuhan Saudagar is the greatest harbor in Panau, and has always been a great conduit of contraband for businessmen such as myself. Sadly, the president has locked down the harbor to any commerce other than that of the government. I need you to help us seize that harbor. It is time Pelabuhan Saudagar got a new harbor master. Let my men lead the way.
Okay, guys.
From here, you lead the way to the heart of the harbor, where I will be able to hack into the compound's network and change the control
I remember doing
codes.
and
Let's
absolutely
move out.
hating it.
And remember, if I die, this job is a sure fail.
Okay, move in. We got him.
We cannot get in! Scorpio, you must find a way inside and open the entrance from there. Hold this position, Roaches, and cover the Scorpion!
Oh. There we go.
Perfect! The harbor is now open for business! Move out!
Okay, move in. We got him.
We must take that next blockade! Keep at it! Ha! They retreat! Move forward! Snipers! Kill them, Scorpio! Good! Move out, roaches!
Come on. Give me something fun. Give me a mini.
All clear! Go, go, go! We're nearly there, roaches!
They're advancing to the central harbor! Make a stand by! I did it! Coward!
Look out! Mounted gun! Scorpio!
Where?
Take it out!
Awesome.
The coast is clear! Move out! We're here! Scorpio, watch my back while I hack into the system on this terminal. Stand fast now, roaches! Here come the government dogs!
Alright.
Damn it, keep them away! I just need to
Helicopter. No more helicopter.
I got it!
Heal up. Should be another mission for a stronghold. There? How long have I been going? I don't think, because I did so much before, I don't think I will do another strong takeover, especially since I still need to clear this out of everything.
Or at least I will.
There's a reason I so enjoy it again. This way. So let me think. What else can I say? How about this? That while it's easy to talk up and think about what will be possible with Zen 4 and AM5 and all that, it is also worth remembering it will be a new platform, and that does mean it's going to have teething problems. That's just always the case.
That'll come in handy.
Hopefully AMD will decide to do what they did with AM4 and have it last for a very long time. I personally doubt that there will be a need to push to PCIe 6 whenever that comes out, or DDR6. I could see it more so for DDR6. But it's like PCIe 5 is already going to be pushing bandwidths that I don't think real people are going to even be able to note. I mean, I don't even think will notice PC 4. You know, even if you can find a way to saturate, I can definitely believe that most people would never know. Sorry. I do also feel that there has been a push in recent years towards bigger data kind of stuff. But that we are going to see pendulums swing back, where it's like, do we really need to do that? And by that I mean, things like Ultra HD texture packs that end up being like the size of the game itself. It's like, do we really need that? Or is it just we want to be able to brag that we have it? And also, it's just, there are ways to cheat. There are ways to just not need it. So, yeah, I am. Because, I mean, that's the kind of spot where it's like, oh, well, that's where we need all this bandwidth for. But it's like, well, do you really need it? I mean, don't get me wrong, this game could use better textures. Part of me that would just enjoy turning on a sharpening filter. But that doesn't mean that the game isn't fun with, with the textures as it is. And it's also, when I get to Just Cause 3 after this, that game's a lot of fun. I honestly don't think I'd actually be messing with it too much, and that's, what was that, a 20, 30 gig game? This is like 4 to 8 gig. I don't remember where it is, but it's not that much. So, yeah, do we really need to be prepared for hundreds of gigs?
At the Panawan Harbor, Pelabuhan, earlier today. Spokesmen for the military police have commented that everything is now under control and that no organized crime groups have claimed the harbor for their own sinister needs.
Oh, hello.
Enemy located! All units.
But I will say, I can understand wanting that high speed for storage, but it still is. Plus, it's how useful is it having this high speed storage when it was like, oh, we're gonna, we need faster storage because, look at all that we're storing in here. It's like, okay, but we're still talking about, 2 terabyte drives, maybe 4 terabyte drives at the most. And there's several $100s. You sure you want to do that? The other option being like a 500 gig, half terabyte, maybe only 1 terabyte. I mean, I only have 5 terabyte drive. Half terabyte drive in the test. That's plenty. It's not my. It's not the It's not the system I live on. But it's like that's all that's on in that, so that works. But it's also I will shuffle games on and off as needed, and I don't keep mass amounts of media on it either. That. See, I knew somewhere that was going to be the case. I just could not remember where. Hopefully I can find the minigun. I think it is. Oh, and there's also that stuff right there. How did I not see that? Oh, there it is. Okay. But, you know, it's just, why couldn't I just, you know, get a good SATA SSD that might be like 2 terabytes? That would be a lot cheaper than a M.2 or a many terabyte hard drive. Nothing wrong with that. Those are completely viable, and thing is, once the stuff is loaded, like into RAM and VRAM, the storage is irrelevant. Which is something that I feel a lot of people keep forgetting. That once it's loaded, the storage speed doesn't matter. But that's also part of the reason why things like sampler feedback and such can be significant, because that part of the purpose of that is to improve the efficiency of pulling things in and out of storage to memory. There we go. I know I saw the radar was going on, and yeah, there's no way I'm gonna do another thing. Stronghold. This is already so large. It's gonna take me so long to go get it all. There. Really? Nothing on the ship? Ah, there we go. Oh, maybe I didn't. I thought I saw something. Maybe it was just the light. Okay, I might actually be picking up something just here, so let's see if I can knock it out just so it doesn't confuse me. Yeah, it's definitely. Oop. So kind of related to something I said earlier about, you know, what CPU would I want to put in the test system. At what point would I want to... Oh, there it is. Potentially upgrade to, like, a Zen 4, or maybe Zen 5, maybe I'll wait until then, but upgrade the test system. Because I do feel that if I put in a 5900X or 5800X 3D, that will be average, that will be competent for a gaming system for long enough that I could definitely go to Zen 5, but would I even need to? Or would I even need to worry about it that much?
All available units advance!
I don't know. I do not know. But it's also, we'll, you know, have to also see what, okay, I cannot do that right now. I was trying to detonate the explosives, it would not let me. Now it did. Yeah, oh, and if anyone is thinking, why don't you, you know, upgrade the test system and give the CPU to your brother? It's like, yeah, I wouldn't do that. Plus, I don't feel the need to upgrade the test system. figure when Zen 4 actually comes out. It's more when I'm thinking, okay, what do I want to do? Because that's also, I think, how I would then just help decide between 1500X and 1500X3D. Where if Zen 4 is matching the X3D, then I might go with that, just that then it will be relative. But if it's not, if the X3D stays above it, then it might be, well, my own personal use for the test system will benefit more from the 900X, so go with that. Okay, what am I missing? Also, wait, where is it that I... Back there. Okay. I want to grab the helicopter. It'll help me get around.
Okay, move in! We got him!
Yeah, no weapons, but that's fine. Shit, I keep doing that. I keep hitting space when I really shouldn't. Ah well. I could just buy a helicopter, but I'm gonna be stopping soon enough, and when I do, I will lose it, so it'll be a waste. But it's also, I even doing this, I'm not seeing anything. I simply don't know what I'm missing. And I don't think that there's more for me to blow up. I'm saying, I don't think I can destroy the ships. It also would start well, maybe it wouldn't. Let me get the the helicopter respawned. There's a fair chance the minigun hits. Well, nope. I need this actually still. I'm gonna take advantage of its crosshair indicating when there was stuff to destroy. To make it go boom.
Got a positive! Send back up!
I honestly don't. And it might have actually despawned and just not respawned.
Enemy located! All units attack on site!
Alright. I am very close to just giving up, leaving this at the 69% completion. I mean, I will spawn back here, so it's not like it's that big a deal. Yeah, there's no indication that there's something huge. And I don't remember. It's been long enough, I simply cannot remember if there is, like, something to destroy with these ships. Well, on these ships. And it shouldn't be that I need to, like, do that raise. I really don't know. Alright. I know I hit it there. Is that maybe? I don't know if I have. Doesn't look like I have. It might just be that it's, yeah, that's it. Okay. I just never went far enough. Damn. Alright, Yep, that's what it was. Alright. Oh, that being the case, what have I got for a cheap option? That actually would. You know, this is actually also nice. It's expensive though, and I don't feel like spending that much. So yeah, let's actually go with it. Cannon on this will do what I need. What I need done.
Reporting hostiles in a sector. All units intercept.
Haven't lost my touch.
Alright. Oh, yeah, there's...
Alert! Reports of hostile in the area. All available
Here we go.
units.
Alright, perfect. Yeah, I needed to turn away because he keeps also firing the gun. His hand, and I don't want to be wasting. And I do intend to stop. I just want to get over here because I should be able to refill. Aren't those? Yeah. Nope, that's... Are they not here? Well, I know that there was some in one of these. That I went by some, ammo boxes as I advance. Huh. Okay, I know I did. I don't know why they're not seen, but whatever. Worry about it next time. 1620? How much time have I spent without looking it over yet? $17.20. Alright, I'm good with that. Alright, so... Yeah, probably not the most interesting of conversation topics I had, but, you know, whatever. Yeah, it will. I'm just looking at my notes again. It will be interesting to see what comes, and with Zen 4 and such, but it's launching in the fall, so there's a lot of time for things to change. For them to tighten down some specifications to get more performance out of it. I also didn't even mention that one of the things that they said is it will have some AI acceleration instructions on it, which apparently there was some explanation there that it is in one of the interviews that somebody gave, that it relates to AVX 512 and just certain instructions you can run on that. But it still is, it's an important thing for AMD to do that. To have support for any kind of AI acceleration there, because if nothing else, it sells. It's like, hey, we have it in here, isn't that great? Yeah. Even though I could believe that most people would never really take advantage of it. Or if they do, it would be simple stuff, like how I'm using RNN to reduce, to remove noise suppression from the mic. Although that one's just fine on any CPU. So. No, most any. Wouldn't be good on my laptop, but I want to upgrade that at some point. We'll see. We'll see when that happens. Alright. See you next time.